met your partner in October 2007 in London. How did you do that if you weren't in the country?
I don't believe a word he's saying. Bottom line, I think he's lying through his teeth. I don't believe a word he's told me.
But either he's not being completely honest or the college is fibbing.
At Heathrow, a Bangladeshi man has been stopped at passport control after flying in with his new wife.
If you can just break down your colleges for me. So in 2003...
He has been living in the UK as a student for the last 6 years, attending 4 different colleges. But 3 of the 4 colleges are now known by the UK Border Agency to be bogus. Officer Tim Weatherall takes on the case.
If you wish to stay in here together, you can, or you can either proceed downstairs or you can wait outside. Okay, but I'm going to let you know now, if it's the case that you are refused entry, after we've done our investigations, you won't have a choice, okay? You will be landed and you will be refused, so you won't be able to stay together. I would suggest that you prepare for the worst case scenario, if that is appropriate, and then you work out what you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, that's your decision, yeah?
The newlyweds will only come into Britain together if the husband can prove he's a genuine graduate. But it will take some convincing. Officer Weatherall has a thick file of evidence against the college that issued his qualifications.
I'm just going to go through and interview you now, okay? So just follow me through this way. Just head in there, grab a seat on the far side. We haven't just stopped you on a hunch here. As I explained to you, we've got a lot of information about yourself and about the college and about the types of course that were on it, okay? And did you actually attend the Westminster College of Computing 4 days a week? So how many modules did you take then?
I think 4.
What were they all called?
One is business work.
Business work. That's a module in a postgraduate diploma is called business work. Okay, next.
I can't remember.
So you can remember 1 of your 4 modules.
I can't remember.
Did you take exams? And I'm guessing you can probably only remember 1 or 2. You can't remember anything? Not even the ones that you mentioned before?
No.
This is a 45-page document, yeah? I've got 45 pages there which prove to me that any degree that obtained from Westminster College of Computing is completely bogus. You need to start being very honest with me or you're going to have a much bigger problem than you do now. You haven't, sir. I don't believe you.
I swear to God.
The fact is, looking back through the colleges you've studied at, all of them are known to immigration for being problem colleges. So I have real issues with the fact that you've ever studied here at all.
I've done some computer course as well.
Here or
Oh yeah.
when were they?
That was in Steadfast, I think.
It's a first college. Another college that's been closed down for issuing bogus certificates.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not looking good for you, is it? We're happy with your wife, she's going to be allowed through. She's not going to be allowed to stay with you. I'm not happy with you, you will be detained by immigration until we get to the bottom of it, okay? So you need to decide where she's going to go. That's your problem, not mine, okay?
Before deciding the passenger's fate, Officer Weatherall must refer the case to his Chief Immigration Officer, Mo Ghaffar.
Basically, I don't believe a word he's saying. Yeah, I mean, bottom line, I think he's lying through his teeth. I don't believe a word he's told me.
I think we've got substantial information in relation to the fact that he studied at an institution that has closed down. We'll land his wife, and then we'll go from there. All right, Timothy, thanks, thank you.
Okay, right, I spoke to my Chief Immigration Officer. Your wife, we're happy to allow to proceed. She's going to be landed, she's been granted leave to enter. With regards to yourself, the decision's been taken by myself and the Chief Immigration Officer to refuse you entry into the UK today, okay, and to cancel your UK residence permit. You have the right to appeal in country, or you have the right to appeal from Bangladesh. That choice is up to you.
The husband chooses to appeal from the UK. This usually means being held in a detention centre while the appeal is considered, but there are exceptions.
Considering that he has his wife with him, it seems only reasonable to give him temporary admission. I don't consider him to be an absconder at this stage, and if he wishes to fight his case, then let him take his chances in court. She probably doesn't even know what the husband's been up to in the United Kingdom. She didn't expect to be stopped at immigration control and then be asked questions by an immigration officer as to why she was coming to the UK. If I was the wife of this particular passenger, I'd be pretty upset. I'd be asking my husband, what have you been doing?
The husband is granted temporary admission, but he loses his appeal and is put on a flight back to Bangladesh. At Heathrow's Terminal 3, a Brazilian man has arrived to see his British civil partner. They got married the last time he was in the UK, and now he wants to spend 6 months with his husband. Chief Officer Matt Dyson asks Officer Lisa Lee to investigate because the passenger claims to have another important reason for his visit. He's on police bail and due to appear in court.
He says he was arrested after visiting a sick Greek friend in a hotel who had overdosed on cocaine. He says that he was not using the drug, but he was arrested anyway.
Okay.
We need to speak to the police. How serious, is the investigation into him, or is it something that they would let slip and just not be that bothered about if he wasn't actually here?
Yep.
If it is quite serious, is he somebody that we should be admitting anyway?
To find out, Officer Lee needs to know more about the passenger's brush with the law.
Let's phone the police.
Well, I'm not until Monday. You know Monday?
I understand there are some charges pending, and I'd be grateful if someone can give me a call back as to whether or not he's required to attend a hearing on the Friday the 1st of May. Thanks very much. Belgravia Police Station is busy.
While Officer Lee waits to hear if the police want to pursue a case against the passenger, her own investigation throws up serious questions about the man's immigration history.
He was actually arrested in the UK on a drugs charge in March 2009. According to his passport, he entered the UK in April 2008. As a visitor to the UK, he's only allowed to stay 6 months. So if he entered the UK in April 2008 and was still here in March 2009, he's overstayed by almost 5 months.
Officer Lee checks the passenger's earlier visits to see if he's made a habit of overstaying his visa. She finds the evidence she's looking for in his application to marry his civil partner.
And he confirms in this letter that he met him in August 2007 in a London nightclub. The problem we have with that is he was stamped in as a visitor in January 2006. There are no other entry or exit stamps for the UK in that period of time, so he must have overstayed here because he's only supposed to stay 6 months. He should have left the UK in the summer, but he was still here a year and a half later. Bless him.
It appears the passenger has twice stayed longer in Britain than he should have.
Okay, do you want to come through?
Officer Lee wants to see if there's anything in his bags to reveal what he's doing in the country this time.
Did you pack the bags yourself?
Yeah.
Did anybody help you pack? Are you aware of the contents? You know everything that's in your bags?
Yeah, I know everything.
And why were you arrested? Why did the police arrest you here? Why did they arrest you?
My friend bought a hell, he was drunk in a hotel and they called me for helping him. And I was helping him, asked to the emergency, but I was the phone in the hotel, so I did say the hotel, my friend did use the drug. And then the hotel called the police.
You weren't using the drugs then?
No.
No?
I drink a lot Jack Daniels, I love it.
You like your Jack Daniels?
I love
What do you
it.
drink it with? What do you have it with? Coke?
Coke.
We're going back upstairs, yeah?
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Officer Lee has learned a little more about the passenger's adventures with the police. She has also found something to suggest that he might be here to work.
And then I'll interview you. He was carrying a lifeguard qualification ID. Is he doing that here? Because he's not supposed to. He's not supposed to work. My suspicion is he's working here as a lifeguard. How he's doing that, I don't know. Whether he's got some other form of ID that he presents, an ID card from another country maybe.
It's time to find out how the passenger has beaten the system for so long.
Mr. Toledo, come out, sir.
And to discover what he's up to this time.
Okay, so if you can just take a seat there for me. So why do you have the lifeguard ID?
Because I did the course. I did try to work for lifeguard when I finished the course, but no, it's no work for me.
Okay, apart from your Brazilian passport, do you have any other nationality passport or identification document?
No. I did it before. When I come in 2006, I was making for work, but no, I didn't take the. I got the prison for this for 1 month and a half.
What document were you using?
It's Italy.
Passport?
Yeah.
How did you get that? Where did you get it from?
Here.
Who from? Yeah.
Okay.
Who from?
I meet somebody in the restaurant. He say to me, you don't have visa? No. So I make the passport for you. And I say, how much? 300 pounds. And me,
Okay, where did you go to prison? In England?
Yeah, in England, yeah.
If the passenger wants to come into the country to see his husband, he'll have to convince Officer Lee that his travels have been legitimate since going to prison for using a fake Italian passport.
I'm going to start from the beginning of your first time here, okay? How long did you say you would stay?
Couple 6 months, and I did stay 6 months.
So when did you leave the UK that year? When did you leave?
When did you leave the UK? Yeah,
you
July,
came in
July,
July,
yeah.
When was the next time that you entered the UK?
It's 2008.
That's a lie. You claim in your letter that you wrote to the Home Office that you met your partner in October 2007 in London.
In 2007.
How did you do that if you weren't in the country?
Which day? But which day did you apply for
How could you have met him if you weren't in the country?
I didn't meet him in 2008. I didn't meet him in 2007.
Well, that's what you told the Home Office.
You're wrong. I'm not liable there.
You've either lied to the Home Office so you can get your certificate, or you're lying to me now. All right? One of those things, they can't both be true. You can't have been in Brazil and met him. You say in that letter you were together from October 2007.
Is it 2007?
Yes. Were you in the UK in 2007? Yes or no?
Yes. In 2007. But I didn't go to Brazil and I come back, but I don't know which month I'm coming back, because I come to the Italy. I really don't lie. So try to me, serious. I try to remember things. That's the situation.
Right, my next
question.
question is then, how did you enter the UK? What passport?
Brazilian.
Where's the entry stamp?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have it.
Why not? How can you, as a Brazilian national, travel from Italy to the UK without getting a stamp in your passport?
By boat.
How would they not stamp your passport?
Because it's a normal boat. It's not like...
Even I go on the boat to France, they check my passport.
Depends which boat you use, lady.
Which port did it leave?
It's not port.
Well, the boats don't sail from Italy to the UK unless you went on a cruise ship. So where did you sail from?
Seriously, I can't remember. It's 2007.
You need to start giving me some explanations, sir, all right? Because at the moment, your immigration history with the UK is not very good, is it?
Yeah, no, I see that.
Quite a lot's come out of the interview in the sense that I had a suspicion that he may well have been using another document of some kind. And he's admitted to me straight away that he did use an Italian passport to try and get a national insurance number. He won't admit to having used it to travel on, but my suspicion is he has, because the fact he doesn't have stamps in his passports for his claimed visits to and from the continent would lead me to believe he's used it. He's obviously admitted he's been here for 4 years on and off, pretty much constantly, living here. I think he's been working. He won't admit to it, but he's been working here. He's not a genuine visitor. He wants to live here. He's not a genuine visitor.
Even though Officer Lee is in no doubt about the passenger's status, she must refer the case to Chief Officer Dyson.
Okay. In my opening gambit was, have you ever been in possession, or are you entitled to, any other nationality document or ID? Oh, well, there was the Italian passport that I went to prison for a month for. Ka-ching.
So he's either overstayed or he's been in
using
and out using a
dodgy
fraudulent document. Either way, it doesn't sit
He went to prison for a month. He used it to try and get an NI number, and it was deemed forged, because it was.
Has he used it to travel, though?
He says not, but I don't believe that.
Well, but then he's damned by his own words. Yeah. He's either used the document to travel, which again is illegal, or he's overstayed. He can't have it both ways.
And he acknowledges that.
Right. Well, we'll just have him as an overstayer then.
Okay. No worries. Yeah.
Thanks. He's a serial abuser of UK law and the immigration system. He's overstayed twice. He's apparently, by his own admission, done a short period of time for using a false Italian passport, and he's currently under investigation for drugs charges. I don't consider that that's the sort of person I want to be letting in.
Mr. Toledo. Hello. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Which kind of bad news?
Bad news is that you're going to be refused entry to the UK. We're not allowing you in.
No, in UK.
Not coming into the UK, and we're going to send you back to Brazil on Sunday morning. Well,
I don't understand.
okay,
why
well,
you let
because
me
you're
here.
coming here as a visitor, and you've been living here as a visitor. You're not allowed to do that.
No, the first time, but now I was married. It's another situation.
But you don't have the right visa. If you read your Home Office letter, sir, it quite clearly says that doesn't mean you can stay and live here. You still need to sort the paperwork
Sorry
out.
about that.
All
Sorry
right.
about that. Thank you.
Have a safe journey home.
All right.
He's shown a blatant disregard, really, for immigration rules. He may not understand it. He may claim not to understand it. But the fact of the matter remains, that stamp in his passport tells him he can't work and he can only stay for 6 months. He's broken at least two occasions he's stayed longer than he should, so them's the rubs, I guess.
The police do not pursue the drugs charge, deciding instead it's better the passenger is kept out of Britain. He's put on a flight back to Brazil, where he'll have to hatch another plan if he wants to see his husband. Today, Officer Lisa stopped a student returning to Britain after spending 5 months back home in Pakistan. He says he's here to take exams, but a quick call to his college throws his story into doubt.
Mr. Qureshi, you come with me. I have your ticket passport here, okay, sir? All right?
He says he's here to take exams, but a quick call to his college throws his story into doubt. They say he's never attended at all. Officer Lee wants to search the passengers' bags as they might reveal what he's up to in the UK.
So how much is here?
2,080 pounds.
£2,080.
Yeah.
So you have a job here?
Yeah, I have a job here.
What were you doing here, sir?
A minicab office is a controller.
Controller in a minicab office.
Yeah.
As a student, the man is allowed to work, as long as it's only part-time. He's adamant his main reason for being here is to study. The only problem is, to be a genuine student, you need a genuine college.
I go to in my college in every day, but they are not studying him. They are only cashing the price. Please give me a gesture. It's my future.
Okay, so yeah. Well, we'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment, your future, yeah?
Yeah. I'm a very hard worker student.
So I know you're anxious, I know you're nervous, but you need to wait for me, all right?
Please give me a gesture.
If you follow me.
Yeah.
He's very nervous. He's almost pleading with me to let him in.
Please give me a gesture. Please give me a gesture.
So as I said to you, I will talk to you in a moment, okay?
He said a few things about his studies. I'm going every day, but they are not teaching or something. So I need to try and work out what he means. But he's clearly very worried. He actually asked me if I was going to deport him. And I said, well, I don't know what will happen yet. Just, bear with me and answer my questions.
The passenger is desperate to be heard. He wants Officer Lee to investigate his college.
Please give me justice. I am a real student. I am a hard worker.
Sir,
Yeah.
justice is a big word, all right? So you have to bear in mind that I have to follow the rules.
Yes, you have followed
Okay.
the rules, but the college has given me a deceit to me.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it? He's claiming that the college is bogus in that he was attending when he was meant to attend and they were not running classes. Now, they've said to us immediately, we rang them, he's never attended. The problem he's got is he stayed here for 6 months without doing any, appearing to do nothing, and is now saying he's coming back to find another college. So either he's not being completely honest or the college is fibbing.
Officer Lee must find out who is telling the truth. It seems the college is sticking to its guns, backing up its claims in writing.
What I have here is a fax from the college which says that he enrolled on a 12-month course for an advanced diploma in business admin, which should have commenced last March 2008. They claim to have written to him concerning his poor attendance, but they never received any response. and so they've removed him from their register, which essentially means he has no place to study. So now we need to get to the bottom of his allegations as well. Mr. Qureshi?
And to make sure his allegations are understood, the passenger has asked for an interpreter.
How long did you attend the college for?
On and off jata raha us
For
college.
6 months I went on and off. And they didn't teach anything there.
Fees le li thi.
And they took my tuition fees off me.
How much did you pay them?
£1,600.
£1,600.
Okay. We spoke to your college and they gave us this.
उन्होंने ये फैक्स भेजा था, ठीक है? मैं पढ़ के बताऊं?
हाँ, तो मैं इनके कॉलेज जाता जब पढ़ाई नहीं होती.
He said, I'm saying to you, you investigate this college.
और मैंने इनका कोई लेटर रिसीव नहीं किया.
There are absolutely no classes that go on, and I haven't received any letter from them.
Okay, the difficulty I have is that you were here for 6 months and you did nothing about this college.
ख़त्म ही ना करा दे.
They had my money,
और ये मुझसे ज़्यादा पैसे और मांग रहे थे.
and they were asking me for more money. I didn't have any further access to any funds, and I was afraid that they were going to report me to the Home Office and remove me.
When you arrived today, you told me that you were coming back to continue your studies and that you would take exams in March. Why would you say that if you're not going to attend that college?
स्टडी करूँगा ये मुझे ना रोके.
Eventually, I would have enrolled at a different college, but in the meantime, I didn't want to be stopped by immigration.
So you lied.
हाँ जी मैं.
Yes, I did.
So you sought to secure your entry to the UK by employing deception.
करता और मैं क्या
If I had no money, I had no other way.
सारी लाइफ मेहनत पे गुजरी है.
I've always worked hard.
मेरे फादर किडनी के ट्रांसप्लांट पेशेंट हैं.
My father's a kidney transplant patient,
और my mother is old.
and my mother is old.
मैं उनका अकेला बेटा हूँ.
I'm their only son.
मेरे बाप को हार्ट अटैक हो जाएगा.
He goes, in any sense, I'm not going to go back because my father will have an heart attack.
क्योंकि मुझे वो पर बात मत करें, मेहरबानी करें.
He's saying, don't ruin me, help me.
If the passenger is to avoid being sent back home, he needs Officer Lee to believe his allegations
Follow me.
and to accept that he's here to find a new college. Officer Lee refers the case to Chief Immigration Officer Sarah Dyson.
He can't explain why in the 6 months that he was here before going to Pakistan, he has made no serious attempt to re-enroll or to find another college.
Well, I mean, I think just by doing that impacts on his credibility, doesn't it? And whilst he says, no, this college are just taking money off me, they've never provided me with any lessons, I don't think that's a good enough argument.
No.
And also he lied. As soon as he got to the desk out there, he gave a complete rubbish story,
Just to
didn't
secure
he?
his entry.
To secure his entry.
Yeah.
So you have to question his intentions, don't you?
Yeah. Hey sir, I need to have a chat with you, okay? Come with me. Okay, my Chief Immigration Officer has decided that we are going to cancel your visa. This is because we're not satisfied that you have been making any attempt to study in the UK. And that you lied when you came to the desk on arrival, yeah?
Please help me.
I can't do anything, sir, okay? The rules are there for a reason. I can't just permit you to come into the UK as a student because you're not a student. You never have been. You must understand the reason why we have to enforce the rules. It's hard to say whether he's been a victim or not from the fact that he maintained throughout the interview that he'd paid money in good faith and had not received what he'd paid for, that he may well have been a victim. The minute we then contact the college concerned, it could be that they didn't want us investigating them, so they've denied all knowledge of him. Who's to say who's telling the truth and who isn't? It's just the bare facts are that he didn't study when he was given a visa to study. That's why it's been cancelled.
The passenger was detained overnight and put on a flight back to Pakistan the next day. Officer Lee handed the information about the suspected bogus college over to colleagues in the investigation team. Each year, Britain welcomes 200,000 foreign students who come here to study. Most are genuine. But some students use college documents to enter Britain even though they have no intention of studying. Today, Officer Lisa Lee has stopped a student who tells her he's coming back to Britain to continue his studies at a college in London.
On arrival, he was very vague about what he studied, didn't know very much about his subject area, which is IT. So what's a URL? What does HTTP stand for? He didn't have a clue. Now, clearly, he's been studying IT for almost 3 years. He should have a better idea of what's going on than that.
He appears to know little about his course, and Officer Lee suspects he's not been studying at all. The passenger says he's a student at Churchill College in London.
All right. Do you want to just grab your hand luggage and we'll go down and get your other bag? Okay. All right.
A bag search gives a chance to find evidence that can back up suspicions about a passenger's reasons for coming to Britain.
You studied a diploma in IT, yeah? But you don't know what URL is or HTTP? Right, you never mentioned this college to me before.
I did.
No, you didn't. You've forgotten where you've got your certificates from, haven't you?
London
Yeah.
College.
You didn't tell me about this college, sir. I specifically asked you and you didn't mention it.
Officer Lee has found some college certificates from a different college to the one where he says he studies.
You didn't tell me you went to the College of Professional and Management Studies.
I told you before.
You did not, sir. You said you enrolled in October 2007 at this college. This says you were studying somewhere else at the time. I wrote it down. So how'd you get a certificate from a college you don't attend? Wish my university had been like that. We're going back upstairs and then I'm going to interview you properly. You're not going to talk to me now? No? Fair enough. If you don't want to answer my questions, we can send you back to India without answering my questions, okay? If you don't answer, we can refuse you entry. Failure to cooperate with an immigration officer, yeah? He had some documents with him, some certificates from a college he's not mentioned at all to me when on arrival. I specifically went through his study history in the UK, and he said he studied at one place for a year and then transferred to the college he claims to be studying at now. And he's got a totally different diploma from a different college that we've not come across before, so how did he get that?
Officer Lee phones the college where the passenger says he's currently studying.
Oh, hello, sir. It's Officer Lee from Immigration. What was his attendance at your college? Really? So why does he know nothing about his course then? So he was attending when? Right, from October 2007. All right then, sir. Thank you, bye-bye. The current college he claims to be at is maintaining he has a very high percentage of attendance.
The college supports his story, but Officer Lee wants to know more about the certificates she found in his bag from a different college.
Okay, this college, the number is no longer in operation. So I will do a quick check online and see if I can get anything else for them. Well, it still has a website. Okay, I've just checked the Department for Innovation, University and Skills Register, which colleges have to be on if students are to be given their visas or extensions of stay. The college that he got this letter from is no longer on it, if indeed it ever was. So the phone number's not working, the college isn't on the register, but they do still have a website. But their latest news is actually from May 2007, so chances are it's closed down. So he's attending 2 colleges virtually the whole time to do the same course. He can't have been in 2 places at once.
The passenger appears to have been studying at 2 colleges at the same time. Someone's not telling the truth. Officer Lee wants to find out what he's been up to since he was given a student visa 3 years ago.
He's not a student here, I can just feel it. I just know from experience that he's not studying here, but we have to have concrete evidence that we can use to overturn his visa. That's what I'm going to go and get. Take a seat. You don't know the name of the college where you studied for a whole year?
No, whole year, 6 months.
6 months? You sure? So how long did you study at the second college was my question.
I think 8 months or 5.
What subjects did you study?
Well, first year.
For your 8 months at the second college, whose name you can't remember, What subjects did you study?
Can't remember.
You can't tell me what the name of the college was or what you studied while you were there.
Oh.
You've forgotten.
I've got all my documents, you can check that.
Well, I'm asking you, sir, because the only way I can be sure that you've studied here is if you tell me, and you can't tell me anything.
Yeah, because I told you my memory is not so sharp.
That's not an excuse. I know why you can't remember the second one, because you never went there. When did you enrol at Churchill College?
October, I think.
October what year?
2007.
So why then do you have letters from the other college, the second college, saying you were also enrolled at their college at the same time?
What time?
The same time you say you've been studying at Churchill College?
No.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a look?
No, because that will give you the name of the college. One of them's wrong. I have a problem with the fact that you've got documentation in your bags which tells me that you were studying in 2 places at once. You may disagree with me, that's what the documents say. This leads me to believe that you've been less than honest with me so far today.
Listen, this is true.
Don't tell me to listen.
Okay.
I've got the documents. You can't remember what's on there because you never went there. That's why you don't know the name of the college. You've got documents by deception. How you got them, I don't know. All right, so stop messing about because this is ridiculous. Saying you can't remember the name of somewhere you claim to have studied at for 8 months. It's ludicrous. Ludicrous.
Need some time to think.
I can sit here and wait, it's fine. Tell me all the lecturers' names.
Can't remember.
Tell me what exam you sat last.
Can't
Tell me
remember,
what the title of the exam was.
I told you I can't remember right now.
Why not?
Because my mind is not steady. I told you. My mind is all messed up. I can't remember. I need some time.
Rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
You've been found out. You don't know the answers because you're not studying anything. It's quite frustrating because I know that anyone with any credibility as a student would remember the answers to my questions. You know, where did you study? He can't remember a whole year of his life. It's quite obvious he's got something to hide. Quite clearly he's trying to conceal something about his past here. It may well be that he has been attending college, the current college. The problem I have is how can I be sure of that if he's telling me he can't remember his tutors' names, the modules he sat, when he sat an exam, or what exam he sat. It's just nonsense.
Officer Lee is convinced he's not been studying, but without hard evidence, there's little to go on. She talks it over with her chief immigration officer.
All I have is that he has absolutely no idea. He just can't remember anything about his college. He can remember his journey there. He can remember a bit about what he does at work, but every time you ask him anything academic, he's got no idea. College is saying he's attending, but at the moment he's not satisfying me that he is. But I don't know what we can do, because clearly I don't think we have enough at the moment.
No, because if it went to appeal, what we'll have is the college saying yes, he's attended, yes, he's got all these pass marks. We're the educational provider. We know if someone's a good student or not. Well, we haven't got enough to go on.
No.
Personally, I think we're flogging a dead horse.
I know. As frustrating as it is. I shall tell him the good news. He'll be thrilled.
I'm sure he will be.
As one of the colleges says he's studying there, and there is no evidence to say otherwise, Officer Lee has no choice but to allow him into Britain.
Right, it's your lucky day. All right? You awake? You understand what I'm saying, yeah? My chief immigration officer and I have spoken about you at length, all right? Now, whilst I'm not satisfied that you're studying here, at the moment I don't have enough to cancel your visa. So you're being allowed to enter today, all right? However, when your visa comes up for renewal in November, you'd better hope that you can remember by then what you've been studying. Otherwise you're going to have a problem, all right?
So I think it was a bit stress, but end of the day it was quite good to a happy ending, what you say. I'll try and remember next time.
unless I have an admission from him or from the college or from his employer that he has done something in breach of his visa conditions, I have no choice but to grant him entry.
No work, only sleep, eat.
Maybe some studying?
Yeah, of course. All right, bye.